Good evening, I'm Kevin Christopher.
And I'm Nancy Cox. Thank you for joining us at 6. Today marks 2 years since Trinity Day was shot and killed when 4 men opened fire in the parking lot of Cookout in Lexington.
Well, today, her family was surprised by the jury's recommended sentence. Carolina Buchek is live at the courthouse with a big story at 6.
Today is not easy for Trinity's family. 2 years ago today, they lost her. And today, they found out that the men who opened fire that night will not spend as much time in prison as they were hoping for. Now, that verdict came after about 2 hours today. And for most of the men, they were very lenient. Chazere Taylor, who was found guilty of murder and 4 counts of wanton endangerment, got the minimum, 20 years in prison. His son DeMarcio got 15 months, and Lamonte Middlebrooks got 1 year out of a possible 25. The jury did decide that Devontae Middlebrooks is a persistent felony offender, so he'll get 15 years as part of his enhanced sentence. But after this verdict was read, you could see the sadness on Trinity's family's faces. Trinity's dad graciously accepted what happened, but her mom openly said she's not happy.
It's just one of those things where you're never going to be satisfied, but at the same time, you have to learn how to deal with it and just hope for the best.
Let's say this, you can't compare 20 years or 5 years or 15 years to a life. They get to visit prison. They get to go to the prison. I get to go to the grave.
And that's the thing. This family says no matter what would have happened here, no matter what the outcome, this would not be right because Trinity is not here. Now, as far as those sentences go, they're not final yet. The judge will make them final in the upcoming month. Covering the news live in Lexington from the LEX 18 mobile newsroom. Back to you.
Well, the political world in Kentucky is reacting to the death of Walter D. Huddleston.
The Democrat represented Kentuckians in Frankfort and in Washington until losing in his re-election bid to the U.S. Senate in 1984 to Mitch McConnell. Conroy DeLuche looks back at Huddleston's life, legacy, and his famous campaign loss.
Walter D. Huddleston was a tank gunner in World War II and emerged as a force in Kentucky politics as a state senator in 1965. 7 years later, voters elected him to the U.S. Senate.
He was not the kind of politician looking just for the next handshake, and he was not a person with that mean spirit that we are talking about so much today.
He was re-elected to the Senate in 1978, but in 1984, he faced a judge executive from Jefferson County named Mitch McConnell.
Huddleston was missing big votes on Social Security.
The Republicans' campaign ran memorable ads depicting bloodhounds searching for Huddleston as McConnell challenged his Senate attendance and went on to a narrow victory.
He lost the race he should have won, many say, because he'd beaten John Y. Brown in the primary. And after that, the air came out of the campaign.
Babbage says one of the first phone calls received by Huddleston after he lost was from Senator Bob Dole, a future Republican candidate for president.
Very much alike in public and private. That's a hard thing to achieve.
Babbage says that he remembers Huddleston as a man who fought for Kentucky industries like coal and tobacco, but also looked out for global interests, calling him a titan of those who emerged in the 1960s. Covering the news, Conroy DeLuche, LEX 18 News.
Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell released a statement today that reads in part, quote, "When we each had the opportunity to share our visions for Kentucky's future in 1984, I experienced Dee's tenacity, competitiveness, and skill firsthand. He was a tough competitor, and I always respected him for his service to our home state." End quote.
The Kentucky Democratic Party has filed an ethics complaint against Governor Matt Bevin, claiming he used taxpayer resources to campaign on behalf of Congressman Andy Barr. During a weekend rally featuring President Donald Trump at EKU, Democratic officials say Governor Bevin tweeted his support for Congressman Barr from his official government account. That tweet was deleted yesterday afternoon. The Democrats say he improperly used government resources and violated public trust.
Another chilly day out there for us. It's something we better get used to. There's not a whole lot of warmth showing up anywhere, not only through the 8th day, but it even kind of looks sort of beyond. There's not a lot of hints that we're going to be breaking out of this pattern for a while. Little light rain trying to hug the Tennessee line. You'll see it as we come down here on the Max Track Live Doppler. Maybe a little sprinkle up into McCreary County, getting now as far north almost as Barberville, and then more light rain going up into Bell County. It shouldn't get much further north than where it is now. In fact, our future track confirms that for you. Maybe one little batch of showers crossing just along and south of Lake Cumberland. As we continue through the evening, our sky will be clearing. We'll get some of this overcast out of here, which does set the stage for another cold night tonight. Temperatures heading back down into the 30s, and a few of the valleys could see a little tiny bit of frost come the morning. Your day tomorrow should feature a good deal of sunshine, even with a cold front coming through. A cold front that will make it even colder than what we're seeing now, with temperatures running in the low and mid 50s. We've got a first widespread frost potential. We'll talk about that in a couple of minutes.
Thanks, Bill.
This morning, more than 400 households were without power in Laurel and Clay counties thanks to a mudslide of sorts that uprooted a tree.
Claire Kopsky brings us more from Kentucky Highway 472 in London, where it happened.
Brittany's front porch is usually a peaceful place to sit. Last night, that was not the case.
It's been horrible last night.
Just before 10:30, the internet and TV started to flicker, and that's when Brittany's mother went outside.
She said that she saw sparks, and that's all why we all come out, because she said that there was a fire out here. And we come out and we couldn't see anything. It was just pitch black. And my dad got a flashlight and started looking around and noticed all the power lines was out. We saw a car coming around the curve and we started screaming, and he went to stop and he just slid sideways into the tree that was in the middle of the road.
The tree across the road here is the one that split in 3 directions and knocked out the power line above me, the TV and cable line at the top of the hill, and also caused 4 TV, cable, and electric poles to fall down as well. More than 900 people in Laurel and Clay counties lost power. The man was safely removed from his car, and the road was back open early this morning. By 1 a.m., crews had restored more than 400 households' power. On a scale of 1 to 10 of difficulty,
I would probably rank it at a 6. We do cover a very rural area of southeast Kentucky, so our crews are used to working under these conditions.
This morning, Brittany was holding her breath as her mother, who's on oxygen, was already on one of her last tanks of oxygen, an experience she doesn't want to relive. Covering the news in Laurel County, Claire Kopsky, LEX 18 News.
And power was restored to all the households about 1 o'clock this afternoon.
Well, this was a scene like one in the movie The Shawshank Redemption. A big hole found in the wall of a Johnson County jail cell yesterday. Investigators say it was made a little at a time in an attempt at an elaborate jailbreak. Alexa Helwig has the details.
Cars drove into the parking lot of Big Sandy Regional Jail this afternoon, only to find out they would have to drive right back out.
I came here to visit my fiance.
Okay.
Hoping to see him, but just now finding out that I can't do that.
This woman did not want to be shown on camera, but was disappointed because of the failed trip. She was just as worried to hear that inmates knocked through a cinder block wall, creating this huge hole in an attempt to escape.
You're still going to get caught either way, and that's just going to make it even worse on what you're already in there for.
I'm told there were 8 inmates in the cell at the time, and since the incident, the jail has been on lockdown.
When you said that, I was like, wow. That's amazing. It reminded me of Prison Break, the show. So, you know, yeah, it was kind of freaky. But
the hole was found during a daily walkthrough by a guard. Paintsville police believe the inmates' actions were well thought out, and that left an uneasy feeling with Michelle Hackworth.
It's scary to the effect that someone could actually go to that level. Imagine the time it took to do that.
Luckily, police say the hole in the wall led to another wall.
They tried. They didn't succeed, but they tried.
Covering the news in Johnson County, Alexa Helwig, LEX 18 News.
The Paintsville Police Department plans to hit all 8 inmates with attempted escape charges.
A man who police say crashed his truck into a Bell County radio tower will face a judge tomorrow morning. This happened Sunday, and police say Joshua Lee just drove off. The incident knocked Middlesboro radio station WFXY off the air, but the station is still streaming on the website. Station owner Frank Smith says the station may be off the air as long as 3 months as the uninsured tower is repaired. Lee is accused of criminal mischief, failure to report a traffic accident, and failure to maintain insurance. His arraignment has been set for tomorrow morning at 11. More than $1 billion is up for grabs in this week's lottery drawings.
A lot of money. The Mega Millions jackpot jumped to a record $667 million today. The Powerball sits at $345 million. But as Kylan Mills explains, that has scammers ready to take advantage.
Hey guys, we've seen a lot of people out and about today looking to pick some of those winning numbers and hopefully buy the winning ticket. But those big numbers also has scammers out in full force.
People across Lexington with champagne wishes and caviar dreams.
Oh, I love to go vacation and maybe a small house.
Or just dreams of warmer weather are hoping to win big. People flocked to stores and gas stations today to buy tickets for the record-setting Mega Millions jackpot.
We were all debating before I came, will we quit our job or will we all come to work the next day?
Yeah. What was the consensus?
We were all going to come to work.
But scammers are also trying to make a quick buck. Lottery officials tell us yesterday a man received a call claiming that he won the lottery, but he was told he needed to open a new bank account in order to receive the money. Lottery officials say they'll never contact you about winnings because you don't give a name or phone number when buying a ticket. Dedicated lottery players say the scammers won't get in the way of their big win to come.
Are you feeling lucky today? What do you think?
Yeah, I feel pretty lucky. Been one of those days.
Tickets are $2 a piece. The Mega Millions drawing will take place tonight, the Powerball tomorrow night. Covering the news in Lexington from the LEX 18 Mobile Newsroom, back to you.
Good luck, lottery players. Well, his car was stolen, and when he found it, it was unrecognizable. The only thing this college student could think was, how am I going to pay to fix this?
Well, a local detail shop quickly came to his rescue. Watch how they made a difference next on LEX 18 News at 6.